Hello again. So today we're talking about, you know, overcoming obstacles. And when I talk about like overcoming obstacles, I'm not just speaking on a one-sided type of thing. Overcoming obstacles is more of a 3D thing. It's reality. So when it comes to identifying obstacles, we already talked about one of them, which is fear. Fear can really, block your way, block your ideas, and even, you know, stop your success from coming or showing up in your life as early as it should. And some of us have a hard time overcoming that in, in life. It's something that a lot of us try to shy away from because sometimes we look at it and we're like, "Oh, I can do that later," or "I can go after that later." And sometimes we're like, later, 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 we can try that out. But why not now? And one thing I've noticed recently is that if I want to achieve any form of independence, per se, like financial independence, I would have to overcome a mindset, which is also tied to fear. And it's the scarcity mindset, or what I'd like to call the poverty mindset, where pretty much you don't think you have anything and you don't think you have access to much of anything. And this can really, hurt your prospects if you're trying to move forward. So, one of the things that I've also learned recently is that, hey, if I am going to overcome my poverty scarcity mindset, I would definitely have to identify what caused it to be there. So, I've been, doing a bit of research lately, and I realized that, hey, some of the people around me, I wouldn't say it's their fault, but they don't have much knowledge of the place I want to go. And probably that's why when I explain my dreams to them, it's not taken so well. And it's more than likely just brushed off and not paid much attention to. So this is where I have to say, okay, it's not that, sometimes it's not them just like being jealous or trying to kill your dream. Sometimes it is simply because they are not able to see your goals. They're not able to see your goals because they also have a scarcity mindset. And if everybody around you has a a scarcity mindset, like how how are we supposed to like progress and change if everybody is just thinking that there's only a quarter in their cup instead of thinking that their cup is overflowing with abundance? It's just a small cup. So that is what some of us might stumble upon sometimes, where people will not understand our goals or our dreams. Then it's up to us to understand ourselves and learn how to get out of it. It's not something that happens overnight, because this also kind of ties in with our confidence. Like, oh my God, this girl keep on talking about confidence. It ties in with your confidence because if you don't believe in yourself, your confidence probably won't be so high, even if other people believe in you, right? And this is something that you have to personally work on. Nobody else can work on it but you. And it's a you thing, not just everybody else. And this is what you have to start at. Like some people are like saying on the internet, oh, to become a millionaire, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to start doing this, you have to start doing that, you have to make goals and make plans and just execute them because it's that easy. But the thing is that a lot of people can make goals and make plans and execute them, but it just doesn't come out right. It comes out, or should I say, it produces something that is quite minuscule. And you're like, oh, because you weren't doing it right. Sometimes people are doing it right, but sometimes the minuscule things are the things that we don't pay attention to and that's affecting our results or our progress per se. How to get out of a poverty mindset. Let's jump back to that. So, I think I have at least one or two steps, maybe three ways how I plan and how I want to get out of poverty mindset. And one is to actually build up my confidence. That is something that you have to do. Two, you have to meet people outside of your regular comfort zone, even if you're introverted, like I am. You know, if you're introverted, you don't want to really go out and meet people, or you're just tired of people in general. Because some people are not introverted, but they're just tired of human interaction and they rather keep to themselves. The thing is that if everybody around you has a scarcity mindset, they probably will not be able to tell you how to get rich, right? Especially if you've been around them since you were a child, and they they were broke before you were even born, right? They were poor before you were even born. They're poor after you're born. They probably got poor if they had to be, say, if your parents had to be like extending money to take care of you, because taking care of a child is quite expensive. They had to put money into taking care of you, and that probably might keep them poor. That's for some parents back then. Um, they are still poor even after you're an adult and they're not dependent on them financially anymore. And even in old age, they're still poor. They probably don't know much about telling you how to get rich in this day and age, because back in their day, it was easier for them to get rich at a different time period. There were different methods, different things. Capitalism back then was different from capitalism now. It's different. It still has the foundation, but it's different. It's not the same. Um, and then you have to also look into the fact that you will have to learn new things and new skills. So, one, you have to build on your confidence, your self esteem, your self belief. Two, you have to meet people who are not in the scarcity mindset, probably meet up with people who are already successful or already on their way. And even if you're not meeting up with them, at least have a conversation or ask them questions, because I haven't met some in person, especially during this time where people are, a bit isolated. I've talked to people on the phone and gotten a decent amount of advice about what I need to do, right? So even a phone call, even if you don't want to sit in front of somebody across from them, you know, and actually talk to them in person, because some people have anxiety and some people don't like socializing, as I mentioned before. And then three, um, you have to be willing to learn new skills. You have to be willing to go outside of your comfort zone once in a while. And even if you're not a leader type of person, to take lead in your own life, to take lead in your own decisions. It's also hard for people who had others around them just constantly shutting them down and then making their decisions on their behalf. They never really got a good feeling about how to not seek validation, not how to not seek approval from others, to get up, go out there and do their own thing. It's just they have to always be running it by somebody. And that's also something that's I have to work on. And I'm pretty sure there are some people out there who are like this, who feel a bit lost, even in their 20s, like me, feel a bit lost and you don't know what to do, right? And with social media, it can sometimes make you feel like you haven't got anywhere, even though you only just stepped out into the adult world like 2, 3 years ago, some people 4 or 5 years ago, and you're still trying to formulate your goals. I'd say not to wait on anybody to make these decisions for you because there's a chance where um they probably won't make the best decision for you. And then also there's a chance where you might end up just not having the thing that you want in the end. So it's best to also develop your decision making skills. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you. Hello again. So today we're talking about, you know, overcoming obstacles. And when I talk about like overcoming obstacles, I'm not just speaking on a one-sided type of thing. Overcoming obstacles is more of a 3D thing. It's reality. So when it comes to identifying obstacles, we already talked about one of them, which is